All right. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I love doing these late night things. I'm such a mom. It's like 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'm like, it's late. But but it feels like it, right?
It
Still
does. Feels like we're being wild. Like, ooh, we're staying up late.
Oh man, get your popcorn, get your jammies on. This is about to be really stinking fun. Let me grab the video in front of me here. Oh man. So some friends of mine, I love it. Some friends of mine do a video every week at this time, and my friend Luke taste tests a bunch of different things. And so Mike is totally cheating on us right now and watching Luke's video of him taste test a lot of stuff. Oh my word, the dryer buzzer is loud. Okay, so let me get in. Okay, cool. So Lindsay, let's talk about Diamond Lane, or not Diamond Lane, Bring on the Builders. Let's talk about, well, what was life like before Bring on the Builders? Like, how long have you been in Young Living? What was business like before you actually started doing Bring on the Builders?
Okay, so I've actually been with Young Living for 6 years. That's when I got my first kit.
Wow.
And I went inactive and I reactivated in 2015. And I didn't know for the longest time that there was even a business side to it. It was just kind of one of those bought from a friend, did that. And I was always telling people about it and like being like, yeah, just go online, Google it, you'll find it. So I did that.
Oh,
then
man.
I learned about the business side and I was like,
Right.
oh, well, that's what I've been doing all along, is telling people like, hey, go get you a kit.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
So much low-hanging fruit was like,
everyone around
go to
me,
Amazon.
20 people in my neighborhood had like kits from other people and everything. So yeah.
Oh my word.
So I regrouped and I was like, okay, so we're going to figure out how to do this as a business.
Right.
I could figure out how to obviously share the kits because I talk about these oils all the time. So I could do the kits. But then when I was serious about it and I was like, all right, we're doing this. You know what? RCD. It's room at the table, right?
Yes.
We're going to face it. So I could get people to get kits, but I could not figure out for the life of me, like where to get builders and where to get the people that were excited about sharing it too. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, I like my lavender and stress away. It's great. Thanks. That's all I want. And I'm like, okay, so how do I find these people to like really get excited about sharing? And when I hopped in Go for Gold first, and then I did the bundle. So I got the Go for Gold and the Bring on the Builders.
Yeah.
And they were both great. But it's when I got into Bring on the Builders, like, yes, yes. I seriously, my husband sat on the couch and like halfway listened as I watched the first couple of modules, and I'm like writing down notes like this.
Feverishly, right? Like can't.
With so many notes, and he looks over at me and he goes, "You're not going to sleep tonight, are you?" I was just like,
nope. I'm so like that.
When I have an idea, I just have to run with it.
Right.
So it was just all these amazing ideas of how to find those people that I knew would be awesome about sharing about it. And there were people out there. I'm really active on Instagram. So I see the influencers that, you know, do all this stuff and share. And I kept wondering, I was like, how do people get in touch with them? Like these people that have these big followings, like you reach out, you don't hear back from them. But there were some that I'm just like, gosh, I know they would love oils. So a lot of that was in Bringing the Builders on walking me through like how to get their attention.
Yes.
And it's just been amazing.
And you guys, it's like step by step because it's a process, because everything's a system. The way I see things, everything's a system, which is what makes it duplicatable, right?
Yes.
Because if you're just going to do something based on your personality, that's not duplicatable. But if you're like, okay, so then you do this and then you do that. And basically what you're doing over the course of time is like you're warming them up to being open for you to even say anything to them, right? And have them pay attention to it. Oh, baby butts. Nora's over here at the table with me. Okay. All right, baby. We're doing a video. I love you so much. We're doing a video, baby. Daddy's gotcha. Daddy's gotcha. Okay. It's mom life, right? There's mom life.
My bedroom door is locked right now.
Your door is locked. I'm in the kitchen where this is like
you're wide open.
It's a free for all. Yeah. We're probably gonna have dogs over here messing around. So what did, okay, so you were never, my next question is typically what got you off the fence to take Bring on the Builders, but there were still maybe, because you said you got the bundle where they were both together, and you guys, that still exists. So if you haven't gotten Go for Gold yet, you still, whenever you get Go for Gold, it goes to a next page that is, you know, where you can get Bring on the Builders for the discount. Oh my word.
Thumbs up.
Oh man. But did you have any sort of reservation at all when you got to that second page, or when you when you got it, you probably clicked a box to say, yeah, I want this thing. Did you have any reservations at all to add that course?
I didn't, because I knew that that's where my growth needed to be. Yeah. I could get people to get kits. Right. I couldn't find anyone to like do it with me and run with me and be like, hey, let's build this. I needed to figure out how to find those people.
Yes.
And then in the modules, like there's just like these different ways to find it. I'm like, I'm already in those groups. I'm already doing this. I'm already like, it was the connect the dots. I had the dots.
Yeah.
Figure out how to connect it.
Like the conversation to have, and then how was the video for you? Because I know anybody that watches Eric Worre, or really any network marketing guru, where they say that everybody, like every company, they always assume that companies have a tool. Mm-hmm. Our company doesn't have a tool, okay? Like they always say, rely on your tools. And whenever I started, I was like, I don't even know what tool you're talking about. And when I finally figured out what the tool was supposed to do, I was like, cool, I just need to make this tool, whatever it is. And and so that video, what has that video been helpful?
So helpful, because I feel like it gives that third party. It's not just me saying like, hey, do this and here's how it works. It's all the information that you have in it and your personality and energy in it too. That's the feedback that I'm getting, that everyone's like, so she does Young Living too? like everyone's just, and I'm like, that's like the culture and the vibe. That's what you're going to get with Young Living. So that has been so helpful, especially I'm not super business minded. So when people would ask me for the like strategy behind it and how does this work? And I'm like, well, I
know a girl. I know a girl.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm like, I'm going to send you my friend Martha. She knows all of this. Give her like this amount of time, watch this and let me know. And the feedback, everyone is just like, oh, wow. Like all of a sudden, I'm not just like Lindsay who lives next door talking about oils. All of a sudden it's like, oh, you're really doing this business. Like this is a legit thing.
Yeah. Oh, there are people making millions of dollars doing this business. Oh, and this is a system. Oh, there's a system where you can do it. Oh, it just matters how much time and effort you're going to put into it. Right? Like you guys at Young Living, we have, in the fact that we now have these systems available, we have changed the entire game. Do we all understand that the game has been flipped on its head? Like this is not business as usual. This is like, let's do this thing, because it just is. It just is. Let me see what people are saying. Oh my word. Tanya, I'm so happy to hear that someone who goes inactive reactivates. Thank you, Tanya, for saying that, because that was, whenever you said that in the beginning, I was like, that is something worth noting, right? Did you reactivate under the initial person?
I did not. And so this has been a huge lesson and takeaway for myself. Good. The fact that I bought a kit, I was on ER, I didn't have anyone in that upline that ever reached out, ever said like, hey, there's a business. Hey, do you love this? I was spending probably 50 to 70, like kind of the minimum on ER every month for a year. Then I
Yeah.
went inactive. Then I rejoined. Same thing. I was on ER for 2 years without like a reach out of, hey, did you realize there's a business to do with this or anything? So that has been my huge, like, go through my downline, print out all my people. And now it's been this regrouping of everything with, that's why Go for Gold, and then doing all the stuff with Bring on the Builders. I've been able to take that and reach right back to all of those people in my downline to check in and get those relationships back together, like start from square one with them.
Gosh, because there's power in your story. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that you experience that is the power in your story, right? Like you experience people. Oh my word, this thing's gonna buzz again in a second. Whatever. There's power in your story, right? The fact that you experienced it twice and people didn't, and that is such a microcosm of the entire business. There it is. That's a microcosm of the entire business, right? Because how many people are not having those conversations with people, and how many people are just not having that conversation because they're freaked out to have that conversation with people because they don't know how to answer questions. They don't know what to say. They're afraid that if they ask people how their stuff is working or how are you doing, that they're going to complain about something not working. That's seriously like a huge fear, is the reason we're not even reaching out to people. Like, we need to, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Come on. Let me see here. Can you open and shut the dryer so it stops buzzing? Thank you.
I like the buzz.
Yeah. Oh. Elise, and then we don't sleep. Elise was talking about the sleep. Yeah, that's it. If you're new to Gold Getters, here's what happens. You take a course, any of them, you take a course, you get all lit up, and then you don't sleep. So you're welcome on that. So you need all the nitro, you need all the Niksha, you need all the MindWise. Yep. You need all of the things. And also you're welcome, and the rest of your life is about to be awesome. Tanya, I'm only halfway through Bring on the Builders, and it's so not fluff. It's amazing. I don't do fluff. I don't even like it. Tasha, I need to get Bring on the Builders. Man, do it. Do it. Lori, were you able to build just as well on Facebook as Instagram? That's a good question for you.
That is a good one. So interestingly enough, doing Bring on the Builders is what kind of forced me out of my comfort zone with building on Facebook. Prior to this, it had been, I'm going to build in person and on Instagram, because that was like my comfort level. But then going through some of the modules and Bring on the Builders, I realized how I could build on Facebook. Before, I just like looked at Facebook as like, oh, it's a place for me to connect with family and like neighbors and my mom groups. And that's kind of it. I didn't know how to open up that network. But then the modules walk you through what to do. And I was just like, game changer. Yes.
Blow the doors off the thing.
Completely. Like, just like a whole, like, fresh new pool of people that I could get in touch with and connect with and build those friendships with. And it just took me from just over here in my little Instagram corner to like, oh, everyone on Facebook.
To all the people, the people that exist.
Yes.
Would you say that it has helped you? Because here's a big fear that people have, is that their list is going to end, that their list is going to dry up. Would you say that it helps you add to that list so it never really feels like your list is even close to ending?
100%, to the point that I now have to have my list on a spreadsheet because it just like it would happen. It's not like just when I'm home and I'm working where I would like scribble down names on a notebook. Now it's through talking through people. Facebook is right here, and then new connections. So I'm popping everyone in a spreadsheet that I have so I can keep track of conversations and who I'm talking to about it. I used to struggle to get like that list of like 100 people and now it's just like, oh my gosh, I have people.
All the people. It tells you how to have conversations with the people too, and how to convert that conversation into young living stuff, you guys. That itself is like worth the price of admission to be able to convert.
Absolutely. And that's huge, because I feel like my heart is very people oriented. And I genuinely like forming those friendships and getting to know people. So I'm able to take everything in the modules and be completely me. It's not like, oh, I'm going to copy and paste this to every single person and just robot it.
Yeah.
It's 100% me, just me working on a better level of this is how to foster relationships and get to figure out what these people could do and what they need and all that. Like, it's been very freeing.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Tanya said, Martha, you have changed the game. Oh, shoot. That's what we did. That's what we did. Susan, almost the same story for me. Oh, that's amazing. See, a lot of people have the same story.
Mm-hmm.
Susan, I have learned what not to do. Then, Martha, you changed it up for us all. Oh, man. Shucks, you're going to blow my head up here. Sarah, a lot of super builders only invest in their super builders. That's true. That is true. Leanne, I'm there in the no sleeping. Yeah. It's a thing. It's a phenomenon, right? It's a phenomenon. Jewel, hi. Does Zoom you see me? I'm not sure what that means. Does Zoom mean you see me? Oh, I don't see you, Jewel. You see us. Yeah, Zoom is just a software where you can have online meetings. And with this specific one, we are able to send it into Facebook Live. So I can't see you. That's a really funny story though, because one of my builders, I was doing like some sort of meeting and I saw that she popped onto it. It was a Facebook Live. I saw that she popped onto it and I said, hey, I see you. And she was going to the bathroom. And she was like, oh no. Because sometimes when you go on Facebook Live, you feel like people see you, don't you? Like, it's weird. It's a weird thing where like, sometimes I see that people are live and I like scroll fast so they don't see me. It's like a weird thing. I think we all do that, right? I don't know. Sarah, no, this call isn't set up that way. Susan, it's us being on, but Martha's great system. Oh, on, but on Martha's great system. Oh, shoot. Elise, we need t-shirts. Martha equals no sleep. There we go. Well, there's another t-shirt. There's another t-shirt idea.
Yes.
So you got into Bring on the Builders.
Mm-hmm.
What are you excited about for the future because of what Bring on the Builders has done for you?
I think the most exciting thing.
Oh, I think the internet might be cutting out a little bit.
Oh, connection is unstable.
Oh, yours says unstable?
Yeah.
Okay. It'll stable out here in a minute. They usually load balance after a second. There, I see you now.
It's thinking about it. There. Okay, you see me?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
We're back. Okay, we're back. So the thing I'm most excited about is this has helped me find those people who have that just excitement and passion, and the people who are kind of the entrepreneurial spirits, and the people who are into taking stuff and running with it. So it's been amazing to find those who are like, oh, so this is like actually a business thing. I can make income with this. Tell me more about that. That's been really fun because it's a totally different thing. While I love helping people know their oils and everything, and there's totally a place for that, it's been fun to start having those conversations with people, the ones who want to dream really big. And I can show them, the IDS, and they're like, oh, Crown Diamond, get me there. And I'm like, let's do it.
Yes. Yes. Oh man. My favorite thing is showing people that it can be done, and then just saying like, all you have to do, like you just do the things. Literally, if you don't do the things, it will not work. Right. If you do the things, it will work. You just have to do the things. And I'm just going to sidetrack a little bit. Sometimes the reason that people don't do the things is their own mindset stuff. And that's where we have to, that's where it's good if they're in gold getters and stuff like that. So we can just address those things. But once they start doing it, game over. It's done. Yes. It's done. Let's see. Cecilia, I'm enjoying reconnecting and having conversations with people. The Hispanics love to talk and talk and talk or text. How can I keep conversations more to the point without seeming rude? My conversations are taking a lot more time than I talk. Do I just roll, or than I thought? Do I just roll with it? Uh, what I would do is I would send the message by not responding immediately. I would maybe respond after a day, let it sit and simmer for a day and then go back and respond to something. It's whenever there's such quick, fast ones, like they send you one, you send them one, they send you one, you send them one. It's inviting that. So whenever you slow it down, then maybe they'll also slow it down. I don't know though. I don't know. Susan, it's us just being ourselves, but using Martha's great system. You are the best. Let me put in the link for the course just in case anybody is like, what? How do I do that? goldin6.com/BOTB. I don't think that can be capitalized. BOTB.
Every time I see that, I think of New Kids on the Block.
I know, NKOTB. Right, me too. Me too. Okay, and then what would you say to anybody, we'll just kind of wrap it up unless people have questions. What would you say to anybody that is on the fence, that is like, I don't know if I really need that or whatever? What would you say to that person?
Even if you don't think you need it, you need it. The ideas that you're going to get from this, I mean, I saw my investment back in less than 3 days, taking these ideas and implementing them. I grew
3 days.
Less than 3 days. When my first, I can't remember now for sure if it was my first month. If it wasn't my first month, it was my first 5 weeks. I gained 18 new members based off of what I was doing with the Bring on the Builder stuff. That was the 18.
Okay, because this is going to be the title of the video on YouTube. How many? You brought 18 new members in.
18. When previously, before this, my average was about 2, 3, 4 a month. Yeah.
Okay, so from 2 to 4 a month to 18 within how long of Take and Bring on the Builders?
The first 5 weeks.
Wow.
And it was just having that structure. It's like I knew how to talk to people and be friends with people, but I didn't have the structure and how to implement it and the step-by-step, do this, do this, do this, do this.
Yeah.
And then when I had that, I was like, I can do this.
Oh my word.
It was that it was game-changing. It was completely and utterly game-changing.
Yeah. That's 18 people is how much just on the $50? 900. That's $900 just on the $50. And we know that it's much more than $50 per person that we get, but that's crazy. Keith Fowler is asking, did you have a big following when you started?
Oh, no, not at all. I went from,
I love that.
Now on Instagram, I have around 3,100. But when I first started my Instagram, this was 2 years ago. I mean, I went from scratch. None.
Yeah.
And most of mine is from the whole bat signal thing. My bat signal is homeschool moms, which is funny because there's a lot of us with that bat signal. So I'm trying to throw other stuff in there too. But
extra. Mm-hmm.
That's where the bulk of it was created from.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Leanne said, if people approach you about the business and you respond with a, hey, thanks for reaching out, how are you? And then crickets, and they've read it, I've been waiting 24 hours and then just asking, are you still wanting info, or should I just be automatically sending the video? Don't ever automatically send the video. This is, let me see. If people approach you about the biz, you respond with a, hey, thanks for reaching out, how are you? Then crickets, and they've read it. So if people are asking about the business, like if they're reaching out to you about the business, I don't know if I would say like, hey, thanks for reaching out. I would probably just be like, that's where you go into, I guess you say, hey, thanks for reaching out. How are you? But then I would just go into, I would wait 4 days. So there's a 4-day wait period. It's a thing that Ray Higdon actually does. So I grab things from what a lot of people do, and then I put them together into something that works for Young Living. So this specific part is something that Ray Higdon does. Whenever there's a ghosting that happens, he waits 4 days. And then after 4 days says, oh my gosh, I've been so busy. I lost track of our conversation. How are things? And then see what happens. Right. So that's what I would actually do. Maybe they weren't that serious about it. Maybe they were in an emotional space. Maybe they didn't actually see the message. Because I don't know how many times your kid, if you have a kid, has been playing on your phone and then a message comes and then boop, looks like somebody saw it. Someone saw it. They may have been 5. Someone saw it, but that's, you know what I'm saying? So you may just need to pop back into their feed. Don't just send them the video. Make sure that they're ready for the video before you send it. Jennifer, how is it going reaching out to influencers and starting that conversation with them about the shout outs? Not sure if I can ask this here. Actually, Jennifer, ask that and Bring on the Builders, because that's like the group specific to these questions. Other people in here won't understand what you're talking about, and I don't really want to confuse people. So go ahead and ask it in there. Susan, that's a drop the mic. Heck yeah, it is. Keith, wow, homeschooling grandma here. Homeschooling grandma is probably one heck of a bat signal. Seriously, right? Like, oh, it says my internet's unstable. That's great. Okay.
Oh, now yours is, I can hear you, but you froze, but I can still hear you.
Okay. Yeah, it said my internet's unstable, so we'll just, whatever. All right. Well, I think that's all we have, friends. We won't keep you too much longer. That was a half hour and we're good. Lindsay, thank you so much for coming on with me. I appreciate it, even though I'm frozen, sort of.
Thank you a ton. My pleasure. Hey, you're coming back now. You're back.
Okay, good.
No, totally my pleasure. And thank you for everything that you do for us. It's awesome.
Oh man, I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Everybody, you have an awesome night and I will see you later. Bye-bye.